Learn to read specific values from a past JSON object using standard dot notation. In this lesson, we are going to be looking at how you can access values using standard dot notation in JavaScript. Now, once you turn a JSON text string into a new JavaScript object, you need a way to reach inside and pull out specific pieces of information. And this is a common thing that you always do every now and then in JavaScript. So what exactly are we talking about? Well, let's go ahead inside the script part of our code and then add an object. So let me call that object my JSON. And initially, let me make it a JSON string. And how do I know that this is a JSON string? You can see the presence of the single quote that is outside the curly braces. So this is my JSON string, and I want to add one more property to it. Car. And now that I have my object, then it's time to convert it from a JSON string into an object. So let me make another variable and call it my object, my obj for short. I'll call on the JSON.pass method. I'm passing my JSON string. So now from a plain text string or a JSON string, it has now become an object. So this way I can then go ahead and begin to interact or work with the property of this live object. And how do I do that? Well, let me go ahead and use the document.getElement by ID demo. And once I have this, I can decide what exactly I want to do with my object. What do I mean by that? Now, if I need to pick any of the key or label or the value from my live object here, then I can go ahead and make use of bracket dot notation to select that. For example, let's say I want the name. I can say my object dot name. That's all. And then this will return the name. You can see how simple it is. It's just the dot notation, just the number full stop on your keyboard. Is what we are referring to as the dot notation. That is the standard, a norm in JavaScript for accessing properties of an object. So the absolute easiest and most common way to do the accessing of property of an object is by using dot notation. So you simply type the name of the object, add a tiny period, and then type the name of the property key you want to open, just like typing out a file type on your computer. And this time, this does not just return the key, it will instead return the value of whatever it is that you are searching for as a property from your object. So this example demonstrates how a plain text string that is representing a person profile gets converted into a live object called my obj, and then uses the my obj.name to pinpoint and display only the value that corresponds to the name inside the paragraph tag. So let's look closely at our code. This code is just 3 lines or 4 lines rather, as it is right now, but I can make it 3 if I put this on the same line. And what is currently happening here? Well, this, like I said, is just a plain text string or the JSON string due to the presence of the single quote outside the curly braces. So this part where we are passing this JSON string is where we are unboxing the flat text string into an active object and making it to possess searchable properties. Here we are using the dot notation and tell the browser, go to the object that is named my obj, look for the key label name and give me whatever value is sitting inside it. And once that value is grabbed, then it passes it on to the inner.html method, which then outputs the result to the screen. Now, here are a few key takeaways from this lesson. Number 1, Dot notation is the cleanest, most popular way to access object property because it is very easy to read and type. Number two, the property name you type after the dot must match the key in your JSON file exactly, including capital letters, or JavaScript will return undefined. So what does that mean? Let's assume this is a capital N and you are accessing it with a small letter. You can see that it's immediately returned undefined, which means that whatever property that you are trying to search must match what is contained as the key in your object. If not, JavaScript will return undefined. So if I want to get the correct thing, that means I will make sure that the name matches the name of what I have as the key or as the element of my object. And finally, dot notation works perfectly when you already know the exact name of the property key you are looking for ahead of time.